The message wasn't meant for him. It was sent in desperation. At 2:17 a.m., Meera stared at her phone, her hands trembling as her baby cried softly in the background. She had no money left, no one to call, no options. So she typed a message she never thought she would send. "Hi, I'm sorry to bother you. I think I might have the wrong number. But if you see this, my baby hasn't had formula in 2 days. I just need a little help. I'll pay you back. I promise." She hit send and instantly regretted it. Wrong number, wrong person, wrong moment, or so she thought. Because miles away in a glass tower overlooking the city, a man read that message, and everything changed. He wasn't just anyone. He was powerful, wealthy, untouchable, a billionaire CEO who never got involved in other people's problems. Until now. But what started as a mistake was about to become something neither of them could control. A story of trust, of secrets, of a connection that would change both their lives forever. If you love emotional billionaire romance stories with twists, suspense, and unforgettable endings, make sure you subscribe, because this story will stay with you till the very last second. Meera hadn't slept in 2 days. The small apartment felt even tighter at night, the silence broken only by the soft, restless cries of her baby boy Noah. She rocked him gently, whispering reassurances she wasn't even sure she believed anymore. "It's okay, Mommy's here." But she wasn't okay. The last container of baby formula sat empty on the kitchen counter. Her bank account had been drained days ago. Rent was overdue. Her phone was filled with ignored calls from creditors. And now, Noah was hungry. Meera sat down slowly, her hands shaking as she opened her phone. She scrolled through her contacts. Old colleagues, distant acquaintances, numbers she hadn't called in years. No one she could ask, no one who would answer. Her chest tightened as Noah's cries grew louder. That's when she saw it, a number she didn't recognize. It had texted her earlier that week, a simple, harmless message meant for someone else. A mistake, but right now, it felt like her only chance. She hesitated. Her pride fought hard, telling her not to do it, but desperation is louder than pride. So she typed, slowly, carefully, like every word carried the weight of her dignity. "Hi, I'm really sorry if this is the wrong number. I think you meant to text someone else earlier, but I don't know who else to reach out to. My baby hasn't had formula in 2 days. I just need a little help. I'll pay you back. I promise." Her thumb hovered over the send button. 1 second, 2 seconds. Then, she pressed it. The message delivered instantly. And just like that, the silence returned. No reply, no typing bubble, nothing. Meera exhaled shakily, already regretting everything. She placed her phone face down, ashamed of what she had just done. But what she didn't know was that somewhere across the city, her message had just been read, and the man reading it was already making a decision that would change her life forever. Because in that exact moment, Jackson wasn't asking who she was. He was asking one question. Why does this feel real? Jackson Hale didn't respond to strangers. As the CEO of Helix Core, his days were measured in million-dollar decisions, high-stakes negotiations, and meetings that never seemed to end. His phone buzzed constantly, messages from executives, investors, assistants. He ignored most of them, but this one was different. He read it again, then again. The words were simple, no exaggeration, no dramatic plea, just quiet desperation, and a promise to pay it back. That's what caught his attention. People who lied usually asked for more. People who manipulated tried harder. But this message felt honest, raw, unfiltered. Jackson leaned back in his chair, staring out at the glowing city skyline beyond his office windows. Something about it didn't sit right with him. Or maybe it sat too right. He tapped the screen, opening the number again. No name, no history. It's just a random contact that had accidentally received one of his earlier misdirected texts. A coincidence, or something else. For a moment, he considered ignoring it. That would have been the logical thing to do. Safe, clean, detached, the way he always handled things. But instead, he typed, "Where are you located?" He paused, then added, "And how old is your baby?" He hit send before he could overthink it. Across the city, Meera's phone lit up. Back in his office, Jackson set his phone down slowly, as if the weight of that small action had shifted something inside him. He didn't know why he responded. He didn't know who she really was. But for the first time in a long time, he was curious, not about a deal, not about profit, but about a stranger and the truth behind her words. Seconds passed, then minutes. His phone remained still. No reply. Jackson frowned slightly, picking it up again. And that's when he realized something unexpected. He wasn't just waiting, he was hoping, because somewhere in a quiet apartment, Meera was staring at his message and deciding whether telling the truth could cost her everything. Meera froze when her phone lit up. For a moment, she didn't move, didn't breathe. Then slowly, she picked it up. 2 messages. "Where are you located? And how old is your baby?" Her heart began to race. He replied. He actually replied, but now came the harder part, telling the truth. Her fingers hovered over the screen. Every instinct told her to be careful. What if this was someone dangerous? What if he thought she was lying? What if he asked questions she couldn't answer? But then Noah whimpered softly in her arms, and that decided everything. "I'm in a small apartment off Maple Street," she typed. "My son, Noah, he's 6 months old." She hesitated, then added, "I'm sorry for messaging you like this. I didn't know who else to ask." She hit send before fear could stop her. Across the city, Jackson read her reply almost instantly. Maple Street, he knew that area, not the kind of place people chose to live, unless they had no other option. His expression shifted, not pity, but something deeper. Recognition, maybe, of struggle, of reality beyond boardrooms and balance sheets. He stood up, grabbing his jacket without thinking, then paused. What exactly was he doing? This wasn't his problem. This wasn't his responsibility. And yet, his phone remained in his hand. He looked at her message one more time. "I'll pay you back, I promise." Jackson exhaled quietly. It wasn't about the money. Well, it was never about the money. He picked up his phone again, but this time, he didn't ask another question. Instead, he made a decision. A quiet one. The kind that doesn't need permission. The kind that changes everything. Because by morning, Meera was about to receive something she never asked for, and it would make her question who Jackson really was. The knock came early, too early. Meera stirred awake, confused, her body heavy from exhaustion. For a second, she didn't know where she was. Then Noah shifted beside her, and reality rushed back in. The knock came again, firm, intentional. Her heart skipped. No one ever came here. Slowly, carefully, she stood up, adjusting Noah in her arms as she moved toward the door. Every step felt uncertain. "Who is it?" she called softly. "Delivery." She frowned. "Delivery? That couldn't be right." No, she hadn't ordered anything. Hesitating only a second longer, Meera unlocked the door and opened it just enough to peek outside. A man in a uniform stood there holding a large box. "Meera?" he asked. She nodded slowly. He handed it to her without another word, already turning to leave. "Wait," she started, but he was gone before she could ask anything else. Confused, she closed the door and looked down at the box in her hands. No sender, no label, just her name. Her fingers trembled as she set it on the small table and carefully opened it. Inside, her breath caught. Baby formula. Not one, not two, but multiple containers, neatly packed alongside diapers, baby wipes, and small essentials she hadn't been able to afford in weeks. Meera covered her mouth, her eyes filling instantly. No way! Her gaze shot to her phone. And only one person could have done this. Her hands shook as she unlocked it, opening their messages. For a moment, she didn't know what to say. How do you thank someone who just changed everything overnight? Finally, she typed, "Was this you?" Miles away, Jackson's phone buzzed. He looked at the message, a faint, almost invisible smile forming on his face. But instead of answering directly, he typed something else, because Jackson wasn't about to tell her the truth, and what he said next would pull Meera deeper into a mystery she couldn't walk away from. Jackson stared at Meera's message for a long moment. "Was this you?" He could have said yes, It would have been simple, honest, but something told him not to. Instead, he typed, "Let's just say you don't have to worry about formula anymore." He sent it, no name, no explanation, no confirmation, just enough to help, but not enough to be known. Across the city, Meera read the message twice, then a third time. Her brows furrowed slightly. That wasn't a denial, but it wasn't an answer either. "Who are you?" she whispered under her breath. She looked back at the box, the supplies neatly packed, clearly expensive, far beyond what a random stranger would send. This wasn't normal. This wasn't small help. This was something else. Still, she typed back, "I don't even know how to thank you." Jackson replied almost instantly this time, "Take care of your son. That's enough." Meera felt something shift inside her. It wasn't just relief anymore. It was curiosity and something softer, something she hadn't felt in a long time. Safety. For the first time in weeks, Noah slept peacefully that night, his cries replaced by quiet, his steady breathing, and Meera, for the first time in even longer, didn't feel completely alone. But as comforting as that feeling was, it came with questions. Questions she couldn't ignore. The next morning, while Noah slept, she opened her phone again, staring at the unknown number, thinking, if he wouldn't tell her who he was, maybe she could find out herself, because the moment Meera decided to search that number, she was about to uncover something that didn't make any sense at all. Meera stared at the number for a long time before finally typing it into her search bar. She didn't expect much. Maybe a social profile, a name, something small. But what came up made her sit up straight. Nothing, no social media, no records, no identity tied to the number at all. It was clean, too clean. "That's not normal," she murmured. But her curiosity sharpened. Most people left a trace, somewhere, somehow. But this number? It was like it didn't belong to a regular person at all. Still, she wasn't ready to give up. Scrolling through her phone, she remembered something. An old contact, a former colleague from her research days who now worked in corporate data analysis. If anyone could trace a number like this, it would be him. Minutes later, she sent a message trying to sound casual. "Hey, random question. Can you run a quick check on a number for me?" The reply came faster than expected. "Sure, send it." Meera hesitated for only a second, then sent Jackson's number. She waited. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5. Then her phone buzzed again. But this time, the tone felt different. "Meera, where did you get this number?" Her stomach tightened. "Why, mine?" A pause. But then the reply came. "This isn't just some random number." Another message followed almost immediately. "It's registered under a private corporate network, linked to Helix Core." Meera frowned. Helix Core? The name sounded familiar. Her fingers moved quickly, searching it this time. And when the results appeared, her breath caught. A global company, billions in revenue, and at the very top, a name, Jackson Hale, CEO. Meera slowly lowered her phone, her mind racing. No, that's not possible. The man helping her, the one texting her like a stranger, wasn't just anyone. He was a billionaire, because at that exact moment, her phone lit up again. And this time, Jackson was asking to meet. Meera stared at the new message, her heart pounding. "I'd like to meet you." That was it. No explanation, no build-up. Yeah, just a request that suddenly made everything real. Her mind raced. This wasn't just a stranger anymore. This was Jackson Hale, a billionaire CEO, and he wanted to meet her. "Why?" she whispered. Was this about the money? Did he expect something in return? Had she made a mistake digging into his identity? 100 questions flooded her thoughts, but beneath all of them was something else. Trust. Carefully, she typed back, "Why do you want to meet?" The reply came a minute later. "Because I'd rather help you in person than through a screen." Meera swallowed. It sounded simple, but nothing about this situation was simple. She looked around her apartment, the worn furniture, the quiet signs of struggle, the life she had been barely holding together. Then she looked at Noah, sleeping peacefully beside her. But this man had already helped them more than anyone else had. Maybe this wasn't something to fear. Maybe this was something she needed to face. After a long pause, she finally replied, "Okay." The cafe was quiet, small, neutral, safe. Meera chose it for a reason. She arrived early, her nerves refusing to settle. Her eyes flicked toward the door every few seconds. Then, the door opened, and the entire room seemed to shift. Jackson walked in, calm, composed, effortlessly commanding without even trying. He didn't need an introduction. She knew immediately, and when his eyes found hers, he walked straight toward her table, stopping just across from her. His voice was steady. "You're Meera." It wasn't a question. Meera nodded slowly, and for a brief second, neither of them spoke, because in that silence, everything changed. Because what Jackson said next would completely change the direction of Meera's life. If you love happy endings and want to know what happened at the end of this beautiful story, please like, share, subscribe to this channel, and comment next in the comment section. This helps us grow bigger and better. Thank you as you do so. Jackson took a seat across from her, his gaze steady, observant, but not intimidating. "Thank you for coming," he said. Meera nodded, her hands wrapped tightly around the cup in front of her. "I didn't expect..." She hesitated, searching for the right words. "This." A faint hint of a smile touched his lips. "Most people don't." Silence lingered for a moment before Meera spoke again. "Why did you help me?" It was the question that had been sitting in her chest since the beginning. Jackson didn't answer immediately. Instead, he leaned back slightly, studying her. "Because you asked," he said simply. Meera frowned. "That's it? You didn't lie, you didn't exaggerate. You just told the truth." He paused. "That's rare." She didn't know how to respond to that, so she asked the next question that mattered. "Well, why do you want to meet me?" This time Jackson didn't hesitate. "Because I think you're capable of more than just surviving." Her brows pulled together slightly. "I don't understand." Jackson reached into his jacket and placed a slim folder on the table between them. "I looked into your background," he said. "Biochemical research, strong analytical history. You left the field 2 years ago." Meera's breath caught. "I had to," she said quietly. "After Noah, everything changed." Jackson nodded once. "I'm offering you a position at my company." She blinked. "A job?" "Not just any job," he continued. "I need someone who can see what others miss. Patterns, irregularities. Someone who isn't already part of the system." Meera stared at him, trying to process what she was hearing. "You barely know me." "I know enough." Her heart started to race again. This wasn't just help anymore. This was something bigger. Something that could change everything, but also something that felt too good to be true. Because just as Meera was about to respond, Jackson revealed the one detail that made this offer impossible to ignore. Meera's fingers tightened around the edge of the table. "This doesn't make sense," she said quietly. "Why me? Why?" Jackson didn't look away. "Because something is wrong inside my company." The words landed heavier than she expected. "What do you mean, wrong?" He leaned forward slightly, lowering his voice. "Money is disappearing, not in obvious ways. It's buried, layered through transactions that look clean on the surface." Meera's analytical instincts sparked instantly. "Embezzlement." "Not small scale," Jackson replied. "Sophisticated, intentional, and whoever's behind it knows exactly how to avoid detection." Her mind began connecting pieces already. "Then why not use your internal team?" Jackson's expression hardened just a fraction. "Because if I could trust them, we wouldn't be having this conversation." That sent a chill down her spine. "You think someone inside your company is involved?" "I don't think," he said calmly. "I know." Silence settled between them. This wasn't just a job offer anymore. This was risk, real risk. Meera glanced down at the folder in front of her, then back at Jackson. "And you want me to, what, investigate it?" "I want you to find the truth," he said quietly. Her heart pounded. "I've never worked in corporate finance." "You understand patterns, data, systems," Jackson replied. "That's what matters." Meera leaned back slightly, overwhelmed. A few days ago, she couldn't afford baby formula. Now, a billionaire was asking her to uncover fraud inside his company. It didn't feel real, but it was. And deep down, she knew something else too. If she said yes, there was no going back. Because the moment Meera opened that folder, she would see the first clue, and it would lead straight to someone powerful. Meera hesitated, then slowly opened the folder. Inside were printed financial reports, transaction logs, and internal audit summaries. At first glance, everything looked normal, clean, organized, professional, but the longer she stared, the more something felt off. "These are too perfect," she murmured. Jackson watched her closely. "Explain." She flipped through a few pages, her focus sharpening. Real systems have noise, small inconsistencies, timing gaps, human error. She looked up at him. "This doesn't." She pulled one sheet closer. "Look here, repeated vendor payments. Same structure, same formatting, but slightly different company names." Jackson leaned in. "Shell companies," Meera said quietly. Her finger traced down the page. "Trinox Solutions, Varela Group, Axion Labs." She paused. "They're designed to look unrelated, but they follow the same pattern." Jackson's expression darkened. "How much?" Meera scanned quickly, her breathing slowing as her analytical instincts fully took over. "Hard to say exactly from this, but if I'm right," she looked up at him, "this has been happening for a long time." Silence filled the space between them. Not just theft, systematic theft, carefully hidden. Jackson straightened slightly, his voice colder now. "Can you trace it?" Meera nodded slowly. "Yes, but whoever did this is smart." She met his eyes. "They're not just covering their tracks, they're controlling the system." Jackson didn't react outwardly, but inside, everything shifted. Because if Meera was right, this wasn't just fraud. This was someone with power, someone close. Because the next name Meera uncovered wasn't just an employee, it was someone Jackson trusted. Meera barely slept that night. Files covered the small table in her apartment, her laptop glowing softly in the dark as Noah slept beside her. Line after line, transaction after transaction. She followed the pattern, and the deeper she went, the clearer it became. "This isn't random," she whispered. Everything pointed in one direction, not just a system, a person. By morning she had it, a name. Her fingers hesitated for only a second before she sent Jackson a message. "I found something. You need to see this." An hour later, she sat across from him again, but this time there was no small talk, no hesitation, just truth. Meera slid her laptop toward him. "Every shell company leads back to one approval chain," she said. "Layered, disguised, but consistent." Jackson's eyes scanned the screen. His expression didn't change, but the silence that followed did. Meera took a breath. The authorizations traced back to one executive account. She turned the screen slightly, making sure he saw it clearly, and then she said the name, Vincent Harmon. The air shifted instantly. Jackson leaned back slowly, his jaw tightening just enough to notice. "Director of Operations," he said quietly. Meera nodded. He's been controlling internal approvals, vendor onboarding, and payment routing. It's all connected." Jackson looked away for a brief moment, processing. Vincent wasn't just an employee. He was someone Jackson had trusted for years, someone close enough to never be questioned. Until now. Finally, Jackson spoke. "If this is true," Meera held his gaze. "It is." A long silence followed. Then Jackson stood, and when he spoke again, his voice was different, colder, controlled. "Then we end it, because taking down Vincent wouldn't be simple. And the moment they made their move, Vincent would realize he'd been exposed. They moved carefully, no sudden changes, no alerts, because if Vincent suspected anything, he would disappear. And with him, the evidence. "He's been doing this for years," Meera said, her voice low as they reviewed the final documents in Jackson's office. "That means he has backups, exit plans." Jackson nodded once. "Then we don't give him time to use them." The strategy was simple: make Vincent feel safe until the very last second. 2 days later, the boardroom was full. Executives, senior staff, legal advisors. Vincent Harmon stood at the front, calm and confident as always, presenting quarterly performance results like nothing had changed, like everything was under control. Meera sat quietly near the end of the table, her laptop closed, her expression unreadable. Jackson sat at the head, watching, waiting. Vincent finished his presentation smoothly. "And that concludes this quarter's report," he said, offering a polished smile. "We're in a strong position moving forward." A few nods around the table. Then a few quiet murmurs of approval. Then Jackson spoke. "Not quite." The room fell silent. Vincent turned slightly, his smile still in place, but his eyes sharpened. "I'm sorry," he said. Jackson leaned forward, his voice calm but firm. "I think you missed something important." Meera slowly opened her laptop. The screen lit up, files ready, evidence prepared. Vincent's gaze shifted just for a second, but it was enough, because in that moment, he knew, because the next few minutes would decide everything: his career, his freedom, and Meera's future. The room was silent. You could feel it, the shift. Jackson didn't raise his voice. He didn't need to. "Meera," he said calmly. That was the signal. She stood, steady despite the weight of every eye in the room, and turned her laptop toward the board. "This is a breakdown of internal transactions over the last 18 months, she began. "At first glance, everything appears consistent." Vincent didn't move, but his expression tightened. Meera continued, "But when you isolate vendor patterns and approval chains, a different picture emerges." She clicked. The screen changed. Names, transfers, timelines, all connected, also leading back to one source. Vincent let out a quiet breath, forcing a small, controlled smile. "This is a misunderstanding," he said smoothly. "Data can be interpreted in many. It's not a misunderstanding." Meera cut in, her voice firm now. Another click. Final document. Authorization logs. His name. Clear. Undeniable. The room erupted into whispers. Vincent's composure cracked, just slightly. Jackson stood. "It's over," he said. Security stepped forward almost immediately. Vincent looked around the room, realizing there was no way out of this. No angle left, no control. His gaze finally landed on Meera, and for the first time, he said nothing, because there was nothing left to say. Weeks later, everything had changed. Vincent was gone, suspended, facing charges. The company stabilized. And Meera stood in a new office, sunlight pouring through the windows as Noah slept peacefully nearby. "Director of Internal Audit," she read softly, almost in disbelief. From nothing to this. A quiet knock interrupted her thoughts. She turned. Jackson stood at the door, not as a stranger, not as a mystery, but as someone who had been there from the very beginning. "You earned it," he said. Meera smiled, a real one this time. Thank you for taking a chance on me." Jackson held her gaze for a moment. "Wasn't a chance," he said quietly. "It was the right decision." And in that moment, it wasn't about money or power or even the past. It was about what came next. Because sometimes the biggest changes in life don't start with a plan. They start with a single message, sent to the wrong number. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more powerful billionaire romance stories just like this. What would you have done if you were Meera? Would you have sent that message or stayed silent? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. And if you believe one small moment can change everything, share this video with someone who needs to see it. Because sometimes the right person comes into your life in the most unexpected way.